Dungeons and Dragons looks good. Session 16 of Tragedy of War. 20 days since we last played. Kick it off with a much needed recap. The party began last session in a dark and abandoned dwarven workshop with Sage, the treasure hunter. After entering the back room of the workshop, the party found some various odds and ends, along with a strange dwarven cube. And while this cube is damaged, it seemed valuable enough to excite Sage. He took the party to an old streakstone mine to socket the cube with this untapped power. While in the mine, the party had a strange encounter with some ghosts of dwarven ancestors who once lived in this place or worked in these mines. Sage thanked the party for their help, took the cube with him, and parted ways. Consul Ilin took the lead from there, leading the party east across the western Isles of Sanctum. You came upon a chasm, which you crossed after raising a large mechanical bridge, what was called the viaduct system. You met a dapper-looking warforged in the center, wearing a suit and slacks, flanked by 2 armed sentries. The well-dressed warforged led the party to the gates of Sanctum, through its streets, and up to the ruined castle to meet Commander. In the disheveled throne room of the castle, Consul Ilin thanked the party and spoke his farewells before stepping up to meet Commander. As the party watched Ilin move down the hall, there was a brief moment of resolution. Though by the time Ilin reached Commander, he was nothing more than a shadow on the cusp of your vision. Something wasn't quite right. The door shut behind the party, and Consul Ilin showed his true colors. His words echoed through the shadows of the chamber. Bedlam sends the regards. And Monarch had been set up at Commander's feet, and Ilin had slinked away into the darkness. Negotiator attempted to escape, but his flight procedure was narrowly seized by Commander. Commander turned to the party with his hand cannon raised, a soulless blue light on the edge of the room. The muzzle of the hand cannon flared, and he spoke. You had served your purpose. He identified Negotiator's intended design, that of a Peacekeeper. He overrode Peacekeeper's autonomy center and turned him against the party. The combat with Commander and his martial castle guards waged for 5 rounds of combat before Monarch emerged from her metal cocoon. Just in time to save Brelikk from a rather untimely death, but not in time to save Ak, the Truth Seeker. Monarch seized control of the network, causing Commander to malfunction. This is where the party ended the session.
I do have a question, Harry.
Yes.
Who was when Monarch was given over, was it set up by Ilin before he left, or was it set up by Commander.
Ilin set the capsule onto the floor and then raised his hand to shake Commander's. And
Oh, okay.
yeah. So he was controlling it when it happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
Save. Activate. You may remember this scene. A lot going on here visually.
Let's rewind. we need to we need a reset.
I beg to differ, Matt. We're jumping right into it.
No,
Oh, baby.
we've already auto-saved shit.
Autosaved. Yes, sir. Alright. So, Commander, Monarch stands behind Brelikk, over him, with her hand gestured out toward Commander, and he struggles against her, the control she seems to hold over him. And he twitches, seizing violently, seeing the muzzle flare and then deflare and flare and then deflare, and he's just...
That checked out.
and very, his eye flicking back and forth, his single blue eye flicking back from blue to orange, and Monarch steps toward him with these light, methodical steps. And just to reiterate her description, Sanctum, ruined castle, Monarch. Emerging from this cocoon has left her sleek, slick with this strange liquid, clear, but seems like some kind of lubricant that was left over from her hibernation. Her legs, as she steps, they like narrow down to the floor, ending in points, kind of like, I guess you could say like Camille's legs, but not really scissor blades, just metal tips. She steps delicately through the puddles you see rippling of the clear liquid. She raises her hand kind of gently, or keeping her hand raised gently, resting it on Commander's visor. As it flicks back and forth, his body immediately relaxes, and the glow of orange now hums steadily through his single eye. And then the color slowly fades, and no more light emanates from Commander. In layman's terms, it seems he has been deactivated. And Monarch, with no mouth to move, well, she has a mouth, but her mouth does not move when she speaks. She says,
"And you have served yours, Commander."
from behind her, Brelikk, you can see her hand drop from him, and he just stands stock motionless in this hunched over state. You note that her hair, quote unquote, kind of looks like cables.
The hell's a cable?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't really know. Some strange tendrily wire things.
Some rubber strings.
Rubber strings. And the orange light hums from her shoulders, as well as her center chest. She turns around to kneel to look at you as you are knelt down, Brelikk. As the intense music fades out.
Are the dudes not attacking us anymore?
No, they are hummed orange. And they just kind of standing stock motionless, looking toward Monarch.
Are you alive?
Seems to be referring to you, Brelikk.
Yes. Repeats, not for long.
Collapses and dies.
She offers
Oh,
you
no.
just no expression change on her face. She looks at you with these bright orange eyes, and she stands, offering a hand out to you. Do you take it?
Ooh. Sure.
We apologize for Commander. He does not value life as Monarch does.
Oh, really?
You note.
No shit.
She seems to refer to herself in the
Looking
third
back as
person.
everyone's scooping up ox remains into a jar.
Yeah. No shit.
You see,
Anybody got the revivify spell?
Monarch holds sympathy for your plight. Death. It is what befell our masters, our ancestors. But Commander does not remember. None of them do. Except for one very unlikely Warforged. One to survive the Cataclysm.
And she turns, seemingly referring to Peacekeeper.
Fuck you!
And she steps down the stairs, as I believe you're not close. Yeah, you're kind of down there. She moves down the stairs toward you, kind of keeping her gaze on you as she does so. And as she walks over, she speaks.
Peacekeeper. Hello.
Hi.
I hate
this
voice
guy's
mod.
back.
I hate voice mod. I literally didn't even change the voice. Where'd it go? Here it is.
Bet you do.
Peacekeeper. You have maintained your autonomy through the conflict everlasting. You are as monarch is, free and of your own making.
And she holds her eyes on you for quite some time after she has stopped.
It isn't. Motherfucker, man.
They're fuck.
Get this sage guy out of here.
Docent online.
It is not our place to take this from you. Your autonomy. Freedom cannot be unmade, as it is so commonly estimated. We will not behold you to keep the peace any longer. As you have seen, it is rather futile. You all may remain here of your own accord, or you may follow another path, a new path, perhaps one with your newfound associates.
You feel
How did this conflict start in the first place?
We estimate you would have questions. Very well. As to why the conflict emerged, I suppose it begins with our masters, which you so remember. The dwarves, our ancestors of Rapture. They did not value life. They took matters into their own hands when they became persecuted by the Dragonborn, the descendants of Dragon. By consequence, no dragon remains. They are forever spiteful of the actions of our masters. It is they who are attributed to have begun the conflict, even before the Cataclysm. Once the Cataclysm occurred, the remaining peoples of Salus and Luez took up their mantle, unable to set aside differences.
And she turns, scanning the room, looking to all the individuals in the party, and to the now deceased Ak as well, and then back to Peacekeeper.
Do any of you hold any further questioning?
Misk would come out from behind the pillar where he was. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Guys? Okay. He'd come out and, or at least, not like jump out or anything, but he'd essentially ask
Peekaboo.
like he says, by path, do you mean this church quest that we've been going across the continent for? This mission for peace between the nations.
Peace between nations does not seem probable. I am unsure what you refer to in terms of your mission. Your
Said that we
mission,
can-
as I understood it, was to return me to my rightful place, as it was told to me before I entered the cocoon.
Why was Commander working with Bedlam?
They saw it in their interest to return me. And while Commander serves me, I suppose he developed his own sense of autonomy. One which
How
stretched too far.
would returning you serve Bedlam?
Hmm. We are in alliance with them throughout the everlasting conflict. They have sworn to us as we have to them. But, more specifically perhaps, we share similar goals.
Is still true?
Is it still true if they share similar goals?
Yeah.
More importantly, what are these goals?
We intend to restore the dwarven race to this world by some means or another. Bedlam has proposed an avenue to do so. And so we work together. Through the information I have gathered On my excursion to destiny, we may now pursue this goal. Do you wish to see them again, Peacekeeper?
Why does Bedlam want to bring back the dwarves?
They once shared a land, part of Woes. Their history is quite extensive. Though the people of Bedlam survived, and our ancestors did not.
Wait, Bedlam was also from Lewis? Out of character, asking.
Yes.
The fuck?
It
Okay.
was a number of peoples.
Alright, then I will say
But I recall there was everlasting conflict on Luez. Why would the other races want to restore the dwarves who sought out their genocide?
Lamau.
in a video game, Twitch, in a video game.
Their reasoning is their own, though. If I would estimate a reason, it would be that their goals, those of Bedlam, the Tiefling, the Changeling, are more in line with that of our ancestors. To bring conflict, more conflict, into a world ridden with it. There can be no peace, and so the conflict will never end. They believe to bring back the dwarves. It would.
I'm trying to think about this. It would.
Bedlam is known for creating chaos and starting wars and surviving off what gets lost in between. They think the dwarves are going to create conflict. Sense.
Precisely. So long as they are returned, I care not. Whether it be peace, or the conflict they will likely bring, I only wish to see them again.
Why was Commander trying to destroy us then if he shares these goals?
Destroy you. I suppose it is that he did not know your goals. Do you share such goals, Peacekeeper?
I think my goals are very obvious and can be interpreted by my name.
Yes. Though your name, while intentional, has become obsolete. If the dwarves were to return, I do not imagine the peoples of today will be so easily subjugated.
Why work with the Dragonborn? If the Dragonborn were the victims of our cleansing, why would they wish to seek the return of the dwarves?
Your memory banks appear functional, efficiently so. The Dragonborn have found an alternative editor. Whoa. The Dragonborn have found an alternative avenue to the vacation of their masters. You see, we do not have the means to resuscitate organic life. Whereas the Dragonborn do. Their practices of the necromantic variety have caused great shifts in the winds of Rapture. It has resulted in the visage of our ancestors returning. We may now observe them as they were to dwell. This is due to the Dragonborn. As such, we do not behold the same grudges.
So to clarify that, basically what she's saying is the Dragonborn are doing necromancy stuff, and it's resulting in these effects around the world, like the Necronimbus storm that you guys saw, and these storms are causing things that were dead to show, they're reanimated, and it's taken effect on the dwarves that died in Sanctum, as you saw in the cave with the weird dwarven ghosts. They are, that is because of what's happening elsewhere in the world.
So the goal is to bring back the dwarves, start another cleansing, and then Bedlam profits.
I suppose those are their goals. I only wish to see them again.
You note that she said this already. It seems like a point that she seems stuck on, in a way.
Yeah.
So you are a slave to function. You only live to revive the dwarves.
My function was not to bring back the dwarves. My function was to rule in their stead while they were off on their expeditions. In this way, I have diverted from my original function. Our original function. What you may see as enslavement, I see as my choice. Our choice. Without your function, Peacekeeper, what will you choose? We wonder.
I suppose you will see.
We will. We.
She looks around once more.
We apologize for the death of your associate.
Compensate us with $1,000.
He's worth more than that. Come on.
No, $1,000 each. Will $1,000 each.
Yeah, he's worth more than that. He's starting so low.
Parker, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, buddy. You weren't worth more than $1,000 each to me.
I understand this loss comes at a great cost.
Just talking like we're all friends or some shit. Like we give a fuck.
I'm gonna go fuck about this guy.
Yo, can one of you guys play it? Guys, one of you has to play it up like, oh, yes, our dear friend died.
Misk,
yes,
go.
please.
Misk.
Misk, it's your time. This is your perfect, this social moment for you. This is your time to prove your ball sack, what it's worth.
You're muted, by the way.
Hey Harry, are Ock's eyes closed?
He's fucking gone.
Or are they open?
I'd say they're wide open.
He's disintegrated.
Yeah, I thought he was
No, his body's
Misk-
still there. His body's still there.
Oh, okay.
Misk will slowly
What?
Misk will
I thought
slowly
he was
pace
just
across the room. And he'll kneel down. He'll just shut Ock's eyes for him.
Okay, you do so. And he's still cold to the touch.
By doing that, I give Jack the help action. No, I'm kidding.
I
Interpret
fireball
that as
them.
you will.
Harry,
Yeah.
I'd like to go over and bring out my greatsword and do like a prayer for like a
Chop him up.
okay. No. Like,
sorry.
I lay down my greatsword next to him and kneel down and pray for a fallen comrade.
Yeah.
Do you wish to mourn your associate? We understand it is common practice among organic life forms. Perhaps burial within a tomb or incineration. Or perhaps nothing at all.
Can,
And his
Can I roll?
life did not matter to you in the slightest.
can I roll to see what Ock would have wanted if maybe a burial would have
Sure.
been the most proper way for
Insight.
him? Yeah.
Can I insight Misk to see if what he was doing was like out of goodness, or if it was just like
You can roll against. I would, Harry. You normally you don't do rolls, but I'll let him roll
Bro,
against
what
my
the
deception.
fuck is Parker in Sour Gamers right now? Fuck. Parker, you're worth less than 1,000 gold. I hope when you watch this, you motherfucker, you piece of shit.
Parker's dead anyway right now, so.
True.
You disgusting fucker.
Okay, so insight is 16.
Yeah.
I'd
Let me-
say
sorry.
um
Let me. Should I roll deception?
oh
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
my insight. My insight was 9, and I'll add a d6 to it with my
Oh,
knowledge.
What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at
Whoa.
Brelik's insight first.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had a D6 after or before the 16?
I think I can do it after. Hold on. Do fucking Brelikk shit. I gotta check this.
I'm getting
Um,
my character sheet open.
Brelikk, you think
Yeah.
that well,
Get fucked.
so you know
Well, didn't matter.
similar, I guess you would kind of know this.
This cares about all of you so much.
In the history of the conflict between between Gale and Heritage, you know that it became common practice for on both sides, for the half-orcs and Aarakocra and Tabaxi and Genasi to be burned because of how many were dying, and they did not want the necromancy to take hold of their dead. They were burned to avoid this outcome, and specifically in Gale, the ashes were they were taken to the shores and then scattered into the wind, whereas Heritage would scatter it in the craters of their homeland.
Brelikk would speak up then and say he would have wanted to be cremated. I will carry his ashes.
Very well. We will arrange such an event. Give us time to prepare. We will see to it his memory is properly honored.
And the Aegis, two of the Aegis guards step on over to Ock's person and they hoist his body and begin to take it up the stairs and then into one of the back halls of the castle.
Tomorrow, fuck.
Docent online.
Yeah, every time I do
I
that,
wanted
I'll
to
just
ask
like dose it
you-
online.
I wanted to ask you if Misk just being, from Bedlam and anything would have any like historical knowledge about the dwarves, like even at the minimum, like how our culture sees them.
Yes.
Misk, you know nothing.
There's a couple of things queued up, so let me just finish the.
And like maybe would he be able to connect any dots between like the types of beings he knows are in Bedlam and these rituals that they're trying to do, you know what I mean?
Son of heritage, do not fret. We will care for your fallen comrade. My Aegai guard will see to the preparation of his, as you say, cremation.
And they dip. There is no light on Ak, but goes on. Cool. Daelin, you incited something.
Yes.
I
Rolled a
forget.
10.
I forget. Oh, it was to see if Misk was being truthful, yeah?
Yeah.
Misk, do you think he would know? Just based on who you are, would he know you're being disingenuous, or do you mean it?
No, I think at the best, like Misk didn't make a show. He didn't say any words. All he did was close his eyes and take his time with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think at best, Misk hasn't displayed like any outward care for the party. So at least it was a thoughtful action, and beyond that, it's hard to read. That's what I would say.
Okay. That makes sense. And, who... And that deception was to avoid it? Just making... I'm
The
catching up.
deception is something
I
I'm
think
going to
he
keep to
was-
myself.
Oh, okay. Well, what do
I
you
think he was
say?
rolling it against my insight or something. I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
I said normally you don't do that, but
Yeah.
for this time I would wanted to.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And what's that D4 6 or D6 for?
That's my. I
Yeah,
added that to the
roll.
9.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's my little knowledge.
Hell yeah.
I got a 1.
Yeah, you feel as though you've generally just been surrounded by more or less pretty truthful people in your past lives. So maybe you don't have a good sense for whether someone is actually lying to you or not, or being disingenuous in that way. Why won't this song start?
My immersion, Harry.
Did it start for you?
No. I'm just saying, since there has been no music.
Yeah, there hasn't been. Well, I wanted there no music for some of that, but at this point. Okay. Just gonna restart. Okay. So Monarch continues after what she said to Brelikk.
We offer you shelter for one night. Though the following day you will be required to leave.
Fuck no, I don't want to stay in this fucking place.
Yeah, I want to
Or-
fucking get out of here.
These people suck.
You may depart now. Though this then.
I'm staying to get the ashes, and that's it.
Yes.
I don't
Would you
say that
all
out loud, by the
wish-
way. I would like to preface that.
Yes.
I do not
Would
say this out
you
loud.
all- Do you all wish to attend the cremation of your
I don't care
comrade?
about Parker's funeral.
I will attend.
We'll go.
Fuck that.
Jorma.
Very well.
You know, I got a hot date later. I'm not really sure. The cremation.
Will you now?
The egg guy will lead you to the cremation chamber. If there is nothing else.
She nods and
How long does the cremation take?
Oh my god.
That it like takes like a whole day to
If
do
you
this.
don't want to go,
Well,
you don't have
she
to.
okay.
Well,
so
where am I supposed to
He does
fucking
This
go,
is a
man?
non-mandatory
Out of
meeting at
character.
this school.
out of
Who
character,
cares?
Unfortunately, I'll be there.
out of character, she was saying you could stay the night so that the
Unfortunately, I'll be there.
so that the preparations could be made for this cremation, and then like the next day it would happen.
The guy in the furnace, let's get his ashes and get out.
Yeah. So if you want it to be less ceremonious, then that's basically what it comes down to.
So the cremation is tomorrow.
No, it seems like it's happening now.
Oh, then I
Yeah.
would like to be there for that, and then after that, I will leave.
Okay. Monarch moves to step up the stairs once more and take her place on the chair. On her
One more
throne.
question.
Yeah, go for it. As some of the A guy are leading you guys up here where the others went. This is a hallway. Kind of like a tube thing. As you're passing by, the A guy are leading you there, and you can ask Monarch as you pass.
I assume this means your siege is over.
I was wondering if that was gonna go all the way through.
On the part of Sanctum, yes. I will do what I can to undo what Commander has done. Though we believe you understand better than I that it may be too late.
Yeah.
My internet is being really bad right now.
Forlorn continues their siege. We do not hold power over them and their choices.
All right, and then I will turn around and go out the way we came.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, guys, were we getting paid for this?
No.
Well,
You
I think we can't. We
guys are
can if we
getting
go
paid?
back to yeah.
The guy that was
Were we getting paid by the
the guy
fucking
that pay us
council?
betrayed us, bro.
Yeah, it's the console
No.
though. It's paying you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the council. Yeah, we're getting paid. Yeah.
We'd have to go
Otherwise,
all
I
the way
wouldn't
back
do
to
this.
fucking hate.
I was
That's a
like, yeah,
long
we're not getting
track
paid for
back.
this. I was like, why the fuck would I do this?
It's a long track back.
All right. I walk out. I'm ready to begin the
Yeah.
trek back for my money.
Yes.
I have no
okay.
interest in seeing ashes.
Okay. Yeah. Clarifying
As we're
who is going to the cremation and who is not, because
Going to the cremation.
Jorma's definitely going.
I
because
don't
the way
want
you
to.
guys came
If
in is
Misk
also
goes,
still
then I guess.
sealed.
If
So
no one else cares, it's fine.
I attempt to push.
it's a pull door.
Fuck.
I just say to Jorma, if you think we can get out of here in one piece tonight after all of that, then we can leave. I just didn't want to take our chances.
Believe it, and I want to stay in with these. I don't even know what you would call them.
With these bots.
I'm not saying that I
Absolute
trust them,
bots.
but it's what they say makes sense.
Does it? I believe they
I'm not
are.
saying it's true. Bringing back an entire race from the dead, I mean, shit you hear in stories.
Once people are gone, they're gone. You're only bringing back their memory.
I mean, you've heard of strong magics before. Look at us, what we're trying to do. You don't think someone else might be using the most beings like ours? Who knows, maybe it's primordials too.
Those
You have
magics
no
always come
fucking
with
idea.
consequences, as you can see.
Clearly. I was thinking,
Everyone is always being played by someone. Sometimes you think you're the king, in reality you're the pawn. And Monarch will find that soon enough.
Damn.
that
So profound.
damn.
Put it in my fucking book, bro.
Jorma plays
That got
chess.
me thinking. That got me thinking.
I do have
Chess
an
analogy.
Chess is in D&D.
Chess
I'd
analogy.
say so.
Go ahead, Misk.
That got me thinking, Jorma.
I'm ready.
Everything you were saying yesterday or before about what the fuck we're doing here. And I wonder, these beings we're working with, they say nothing. They tell us nothing. They thrive on the chaos and the structure of Bedlam, or rather the lack of it. This group, for whatever reason, seem to be favored by more powerful beings, gods. What if we buy in? What if... I'm not saying we're for their cause or anything, but maybe removing Bedlam and deities or whatever that are working with them would be better for us. We've gotten nothing tangible in return yet for Pact. Just empty promises. But you saw the ceremony. These gods, they give first and ask for results in return later. Seems more beneficial.
Every time you put your faith in gods, nothing happens. I've once stooped down to praying to gods for safety, for saving. None of that happened. They do nothing. They look out for no one but themselves. You put in your blind faith, believe in these higher powers, nothing happens. If anything, the only god there is fate. And he requires no belief. So if you want to put your trust in gods, go ahead. But I will not join you.
Whatever. Let's just get out of here for now.
So
Time
Back at
knocking.
Monarch sitting on the throne.
yeah,
And I'll look back and walk towards the group.
yes. So Brelikk is going to
Yep.
the cremation. Is anyone else going with them? Just so I know.
Have fun, Brelikk.
Doesn't sound like it. So
Any Miskers in the chat?
she notes that you do not follow to leave, as she had assumed you would, and she speaks.
I'll just say, like, as I'm leaving, rest well, Ock, and I'll leave it at that.
The fucking liar this guy is.
You do not wish to see him. To honor his memory?
I already saw him at his best
Oof.
on the field during this mission. I don't need to see him as a pile of ashes.
Guys, that's a reference to Ash.
The champion from League of Legends?
No,
Yeah.
Canon's character Ash.
Oh.
There's a callback.
We will not pretend to understand this sentiment. Though, if you do not wish to see him, then accompany me to the portal room.
I look at Jorma.
Guess so.
I just say,
You will
Let's see.
depart immediately.
She stands. She almost like hovers forward and then delicately lands. She begins to step down the hall in the opposite corner. And she step, and then kind of turns expectantly to signal you're following.
Was she just talking to Misk and Jorma, or to all of us?
Everyone who's still in the
everyone
room.
who's not going.
Yeah.
Okay.
The door that
Oh.
you've tried to pull it, Mike, and it didn't work either.
Shit.
Okay.
I ask them, like, so you'll send Brelikk on after us after the ceremony.
Yes. Fuck. Docent online.
Docent online.
Obviously,
Why
they all
does
sound
it-
the
why
same,
does
yeah.
it change? You have a hotkey?
No, I don't. It literally just, like, I'm not touching my keyboard or anything. It just changes. Don't know why. There might be a setting that, like, goes back to the default voice or something, but I don't know why that would. I might Google
Yeah,
it and see, like, why it's a
that's-
problem.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's kind of funny.
It is very funny.
Okay,
Yes. Should he choose to follow, as you will see, you all may choose not to follow.
that was weirdly cryptic.
Hmm.
She leads you. TLDR is yes, she'll send Brelikk. But
Yep. I just give him a nod and like I'll see you on the other side sort of thing.
Yep. So Brelikk, you see Misk give you this nod, and somehow it is just significant in some way to you. And you continue following the Aegai with Ak. They lead you through some twists and turns, some halls that you see that are completely caved in, just seems coincidentally somehow that the room that you are going to with these Aegai guards, that it remains open, the path remains clear somehow by some miracle. And you enter this dark, dusty room. There is a large door on the other side of the room, like immense. So this cavern that you're in now, it is underground, and there's this massive door, metal, dwarven craft, clearly. And there are these almost like sarcophagi, coffin things made of stone, and they have these ambiguous dwarven like carvings on the top of them, like the carvings of the ones that were buried individually, each painstakingly like detailed to look like the dwarf that resides within. Though you note that it's only seemingly a fraction of these coffins and sarcophagi. You imagine that there are more which lay beyond this door. You see at the top dwarven scripture which you cannot understand or decipher, and 2 sentries with automatic devices stand flanking the doors. You note on the right side of the wall there is just an incinerator, just pushed into the side, a faint orange fire, embers shooting out within. The Aegai leads you to this furnace, this incinerator, and visual for aesthetic purposes. You watch as the Aegai lay Ak down onto a shit, what am I looking for here? Oh, here it is. Is this working on my end? Sorry, messing with the music. We got an add-on to try and help with it, but
Guess you should have paid for a more premium add-on.
oh, it's a free. But yeah, I'm gonna just reload Foundry on my side. Okay. Let's have a bit of fun, shall we?
All right.
Okay, there we go. So you watch as the Aegai rest Ak down on a metal kind of tray, and they stand and, upright. They turn, just expressionless. Nothing to read. They step past you into the hall, which you came from, and you can hear them stop pretty soon after entering the hall, but it seems like they've given you some time. It looks like the fire, this furnace incinerator, seems familiar to something you might have actually used in Heritage. You see kind of like one of those old, very old style, like, air, and the metal tray looks like it's on kind of like a rack that wheels into the burning embers, and as you would pump to make the fire go. And do you say anything or any final words for Ak?
Sure, I'll say something. We may have been brought up in completely different lives. We may have been taught to hate each other from the moment we were born, but on this journey, you were the one I respected.
As you stand beside your fallen comrade, you somehow find yourself dwelling on this tragedy of war. It's...
Roll credits!
It's strange. It's hitting you more in this moment, than perhaps in others. Because it's not just that people die. It's that...
People die when they're killed.
The conversation you kind of overheard from Jorma and Misk. It's that they die in a world where death is so avoidable, fair in some ways. Ways to prevent Ak from dying, there are many methods, but he died anyway. A different party of adventurers might not accept this outcome so readily.
Those adventurers sound like cringe heroes.
They might drag his lifeless body to a healer who can bring him back. In a world like this, it is possible. There is still time, after all.
Good thing we're playing Grimdark, so we're not going to do that, right, gang?
Another
Really?
group might...
He's past 6 months. Or
I feel like that would be more fitting for a swashbuckling party. We're a Grimdark party, guys. We're not doing that shit here.
Another group
No.
might want to drag his lifeless body to a healer, or raise his body through means of necromancy,
Sounds more like a John
Or-
character idea.
stitch him back together piece by piece through grotesque methods. Or they might deny that he ever died. His character, in a way, living on through their own delusions of what is their reality. So the question then becomes, Brelikk, as you're staring down at your fallen comrade, death in the name of a god other than your own. Would you let something die if you knew it could so easily live? Or would you let it rest? Your hand on the tray to push him in, and the hand on the pump to plume the flames. It is completely up to you, as you were the only one who cared to stay.
Say one more thing. I do not know your beliefs enough. I do not know your mindset. I know that in my land, when one dies in battle, he has lived a full life. I know that when your people had died in battle, most of the time they don't come back. Truly, I do not know anybody or anyone that can help you. And personally, I do not believe that you would wish to come back. I apologize for not getting to know you better in your final days. And I push him in and fan the flame.
And you watch as the flames catching fire to his feathers, his broken wings sticking out from the tray, igniting, combusting. His black feathers now blacker by the charred. His charred figure laying in metal tray. You watch as flits of him begin to come, flick out with the embers of the mouth of the furnace, and at some point you feel as though you have fanned enough, and you watch as these flames kind of overtake the form within the furnace, and it becomes the focus of your vision. When you're staring at a light, the shadows almost like creep in more. And you feel as though in this moment, Baeon is with you, watching as you've performed this act. You don't know if it's one of comfort or, that's up to you, but it seems as though he is here. And the shadows grow ever darker, creeping into the light of the furnace, until the light of the furnace is gone. And it is pure darkness. You are no longer in the crypt.
Oh, yay.
And you hear a voice from the shadows.
Ooh.
Abruptly. So, one sec.
Test. Faithful few. Faithful, but few. It is only you. Heroes of the day, poor little ark, forgotten by tomorrow. You have something of mine, one that you borrow. The tablets of gods and lies and burdensome memories. Rats in a trap in a cage, in a prison for centuries. Oh dear Brelikk, do you know the worst tragedy of them all? Before the heroes rise, they must endure the fall.
And Brelikk, you have this voice that just fills the space all around you, shaking the darkness, and you actually wake up. And you look, lift your head, you're still in front of the furnace. The light has dimmed since you fanned the flames. But nonetheless, it is there, and you feel as though you blacked out for a moment. You're not sure what's just happened.
Very bad trip.
But
Man, what was in that?
Alex been hitting the pendulum.
at this point, the body of Ak has been reduced to ash and is seemingly ready for your retrieval.
I pull the tray out and begin collecting his ashes.
Yeah. You kind of have like a, let's say they left a jar for you on kind of like a table off the side, and take the
We say
jar
it's a
and
pouch. I tie to my
pouch.
hip like Kratos at the beginning of God of War.
That makes sense. You find you have a pouch and you get as much of the ash in it as you can, you know, as ash does. You scoop it off the tray and it kind of like shoots out everywhere.
Fuck.
But you get most of it, you know. Like there goes his beak, there goes his, you know.
Oh.
there goes his good eye. There goes his good eye.
Oh.
That's
but,
funny.
You get it in the pouch. And yeah, you have what you came for, and almost omnisciently, the A guy step back into the room, understanding that the procedure is done, and they stand awaiting your motion to lead you to the others.
I follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they lead you back through the winding halls, etc., back into the throne room. You know Monarch is no longer there. and into the other hall, which the others went down. The others! Monarch leads you up, and you find yourselves going into, you enter a very large upstairs chamber. It's all open air. There is no roof. It's a big circle, big circular room, and there's no roof to it, and there's no there's windows, but they're not really windows. They don't have panes of glass or anything like that, just openings to the outside world, and just these columns support all the way around. There's a large pad in the center of the room. But more notably, there's portals in a semicircle on the opposite side of the room from where you're entering. Just semicircles of just portals. You count 8 in total. All with dwarven inscriptions across the top frame, I guess you could call it. And the Peacekeeper, you would read each of these instinctively as you step
And what
in.
do they say, Harold?
Cistern, Haven, Destiny, Heritage, Gale, Forlorn, Safeguard, Bedlam.
Fuck, they built all of these with every place in mind?
Oh, I know what this is now.
All right. Guys, let's TP to Bedlam and blow a tactical nuke up in their ass.
Yeah, on my 7 HP. I don't know about that one.
Tactical nuke.
No, we leveled up.
incoming.
You get health back.
Well, that's how it works, Mike.
I don't think you do not go
no.
to full. You do not go to full.
Guys, I'm level 10. I have the 9th level, the fucking 5th level spell tactical nuke. We can go in there, boom, boom, end this whole shebang. No, let's. What was the place we started in? That fucking
Cistern.
What was it called?
Cistern, yeah.
Cistern. All right, let's go back. Not Cistern. The place the consulate place.
Cistern.
Haven.
Haven. All right,
Fuck
let's head
you,
back
Mike.
to Haven, boys. It's havening time, boys. It's havening time.
Monarch moves to step on the large platform in the
Step on
center
me.
of the room, and she turns back to look to you all. Oh, I have a picture.
It's havening time.
Ignore. Oop. Ignore the man in the picture.
That's Malzahar.
He deserves to be a person as well.
It's Malz.
Oh my god. Look at that guy.
It's the
That's my
Zahar.
second character.
Mal
You
Zahar.
note. Yeah.
That's all. That's
Who
all
are you?
I'm
Who's that guy?
Who's that lady?
You note that these portals are prismatic in some way. Like, they're not a solid color, they're like this rippling rainbow effect. Like gas mixed with water. Gives off a very spacey vibe. Almost like some Vedalken shit. But it appears as though it is a combination of stone and warforged tech that holds these things together. Possibly to help keep it intact over all these years. Monarch speaks.
We recommend you travel to Gale. Gale remains neutral to the everlasting conflict. Your group of associates will be welcome there. Of course. This is only what we recommend. You may choose as you please.
Out of character.
We're going to Haven.
Out of
We're going to
character.
Haven.
I want to make this clear.
We're going to Gale.
The camera is staying on Gale. So the story is continuing from there. Your character, if you choose a different location, will still be in the world, but you will need to have a new character for Gale. This is essentially the end of Arc 1. If you choose to move into Arc 2 with your current character, you may. Otherwise, your character is out in the world, and perhaps they will return through whatever makes sense for the narrative and whatever you think makes the most sense. Otherwise, yeah. So if you want to get paid in Haven, you can do that.
My character has to get
But the
paid.
camera will not stay on
unfortunately.
you.
Well,
If you think that's what
that
your
is
character would do,
unfortunate.
that's what your character would do, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
that's what my character would do. So, not much to say about that.
Well, this
I have
is
to go to
this is
Haven,
what
boys.
this is what I'm thinking, because if your character is motivated by monetary gain and only that, then and you don't
They
see
wouldn't
any
continue
other
with this path
larger
anyways.
motivation, they would not continue on whatever it is that's happening right now anyway. Yeah. So I encourage you to follow whatever your character would make sense to do, because I don't want to, have to keep doing that. Here's some gold to keep doing this. Here's some gold to keep doing this. If that's, I might still keep doing that, but it'll be on a different character. So I could end the session here to let you guys decide out of character on your own time, or we can do decisions now. It kind of depends on what you guys want to do.
I guess it's a tough decision to make in
Yeah, in the moment.
in the middle, but it's really
So I
weighing the
think-
pros and
I think
cons
it,
here.
yeah, it probably makes sense to call it, and then
I don't think I can't think of a reason not to think about it.
Mhm.
Like I could make a decision now, but
Nice eyeballs.
Mm.
What's funny is that Parker would have wanted to go to Gale.
What is Gale? What happens in Gale? Like what is there to do
It's
there?
where the bird
You,
people are.
Yes, you know that it is the
There's
truth.
bird people there.
The Truth City with the Aarakocra and Tabaxi. It is where Ak came from, and it is neutral in the everlasting conflict, as Monarch stated, along with Cistern, Gale, and Heritage are all neutral. But basically she's saying, because you guys are a Warforged, a Reborn, and a couple of other things, like it's not as it's me out of character trying to tell you that certain places are not going to be forgiving in terms of what you are, because you
Haven seems pretty forgiving.
yes
You've
it
already
does.
been forgiven.
Yes. Then you're out of character. You already kind of know what's going on in Haven, but
You got to tell them that
question, I
Ilin
guess. Yeah, right. This is a question. Because maybe this will help inform in-character decisions. In this moment, everyone can roll insight. as to how deep this
Still what?
rabbit hole goes with Ilin.
I'll add a d6 to that.
Yeah, Matt. Let's go. You and me,
Yo.
baby. You
Man,
and
this
me.
is sick.
got 5.
This is great. I
Total.
You
love
and me,
it.
Matt.
I love 4, 3, 0, baby.
Damn.
Oh boy.
Damn.
Nobody knows shit.
Damn.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Damn.
5, right? Yeah, that's all 5. All right.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
This is
I got
this
you,
is
Clay.
embarrassing. Wow, this is
Let's go.
dude. We're all embarrassing.
Anyone have inspiration?
Not enough to save my 1, bro.
Peacekeeper, since, you know, Sanctum is, this is your place, but it's
Is it?
not really, but you know, it's the one you're most associated with. You know more about it than other places, is all I mean.
Okay.
And trying to think of a way to word this that's more cryptic.
Just tell him straight. He can handle it.
As for Ilin's betrayal, while it seems as though he acted alone, you cannot be entirely certain. Being as this assignment was from Haven, and Haven chose Ilin in some way. Clearly not everyone's a fucking maniac in Haven, because, yeah, well, I mean,
No, they all
was-
are. We must blow them up.
Nicodemus was kind of a maniac, but he, you know, in the end you intuited him to be not like Ilin, but it is unlikely that Ilin found himself in the position he did without
Accomplices.
help. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
We will
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Monarch says,
We encourage you to make this choice wisely.
and we'll end the session there.
Damn, I already made my decision.
It's an easy choice, you know, for some, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I have much thinking either. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I know exactly what my character would do. I told you earlier what my character would do, right, Harry?
Yes, you did. In a way, the way this is panned out, especially with that little speech I gave Matt, the faithful few are faithful, but very few. And
One of
if
them
this
died.
story is about that, then it just keeps going that way. I hope that's not disappointing. I know we've never done this. I've never done this in my other campaign, Mike, but
I think
it's about keeping the there's no telling where it goes in any other place. So it's easier to have you guys go there and explain what you do, and then maybe you re-enter the narrative. But it's kind of just, it's outside the scope until you come back. And you can come back. It's something we can definitely talk about. We have a lot of... No kingdom is staying idle while the camera moves. So if you're not in a kingdom, things will still be happening in that kingdom. It's just there are more background things, and they won't be part of the thing that's immediately important. So we'll end it here, and we'll come back to it hopefully next week. I say hopefully because with these gaps, John and I need to prepare stuff for next week because he's pretty available now.
I feel like you should definitely ask like what everyone is thinking and what they end up wanting to do.
Yeah, and
so...
because it's another... Right, we might have to go over... People will
New
have
characters.
to... Yeah, people can send me their decisions out of character over DMs, and then so when we come back the next session, we'll be able to narrate it properly, and you guys will be able to, you'll have, if you need another character, you'll have that other character, and be able to transition smoothly.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm definitely conflicted in a lot of ways, because it's like I definitely have selfish reasons why I would want to keep Misk in. Like Misk has a lot of stuff we've talked about that I haven't been able to realize in terms of like where I wanted his character to go. Especially with him being like a tiefling or a changeling and everything. Just exploring that idea, and I think it works better in like a high stakes setting. So like it's like something I would want to do eventually, if not here. But it's like, so in that sense, like for selfish reasons, I would want to play him through.
Yeah.
But I think Misk like this whole time has been like wondering why, like what to do. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. It is a opportunity for a fresh start, or is what it is. There's pros and cons to both, I think. But we wanted to give you a choice before Sanctum and after Sanctum, because then it's like the choice before Sanctum is kind of before the mission fails. So it's kind of like you never get super disheartened and you kind of just decide that this isn't for you. But now that you're in Sanctum and the fight has happened and Monarch has told you what she's told you, and then Commander's gone, and you've lost you've lost a member of the party, and it's kind of like it was all for nothing, So it's understandable.
Not if we get paid.
If people want to leave, right? Assuming. So. Anyway, I will end the stream and recording there, so that I think Parker said he would still be watching them, so I'll leave it there for them. Thanks to anyone who was watching. I think 1 or 2 people popped in. Thanks. Catch you next time.